Right now, we're continuing our commitment to track where the jobs are in our community. We've seen some good signs for the economy. Unemployment in Michigan is at 9.3%. This after once spiking above 14%. But much of that growth is tied to an old friend who's turned on us before. After staring into the abyss, it would appear manufacturing in Michigan is back.
Tonight, the American auto industry is back.
The Labor Department says Michigan added 26,000 manufacturing jobs last year, accounting for more than 10% of all new manufacturing jobs nationwide. If you want to know who's hiring, it's all about auto.
Today, automotive is huge for us.
Riding the wave of a revived Big Three, auto supplier Gentex. Over the past 2.5 years, the parts supplier has added 700 production positions and more than 350 tech jobs. They're still looking for some 100 more workers.
The growth we've experienced in the last 2 years has been almost totally automotive.
The automotive business has lifted our economy. I mean, the Big Three are doing great things. The transplants are doing great, things as well.
Mark Lancaster is CEO of a West Michigan-based staffing company that placed over 1,300 workers who went onto full-fledged employment last year. And guess what?
63% of those 1,384 were in the automotive business.
All sorts of economic sectors are benefiting from the Big Three bump, from parts suppliers to shipping, even the financial services industry. State Farm reports nearly 3,000 openings across the United States and Canada. 75 of those jobs are located in Michigan, many at the company's main operations centers located in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, we are seeing opportunities where we're actually adding agents' offices where we didn't have them, so we do see opportunities to grow.
It's the resurgence of the auto industry, which is really causing all ships to rise right now.
Economists took us behind the numbers to show just how deep manufacturing's resurgence runs in our current economic recovery. Consider this. One job on the assembly line equals 3 other jobs to support it. But what happened to diversifying the state's economy?
A lot of these other types of jobs, these moving to alternative energy or they move into biotech, those are jobs that are still have risk involved and that they're still developing.
Economists point to Unisolar's bankruptcy announced last week in Greenville as a perfect example of the so-called jobs of the future, green energy jobs and new battery tech. They're still in the formative stage. Old school manufacturing is surging because, to put it simply, that's where the jobs are.
The Big Three is back, but I think they're smarter, wiser, and have learned some important lessons that it's not about boom and bust. It's about long-term success.
During his tour of Gentex last month, Governor Snyder insisted manufacturing is sustainable thanks in part to a new kind of workforce. Employers relying on workers as high-tech as they are flexible.
This is what we're trying to get to in terms of an employment base.
Retraining programs like the ones offered by Grand Rapids Community College stress that kind of flexibility, but administrators say it's also up to employers to help guide that training.
We really have some hiring needs. We're looking to get started in hiring those individuals. How can we best set up those individuals to hire within our own company?
And are you satisfied with the amount of talent available here in Michigan?
Well, I'm never satisfied.
Gentex Chair and CEO Fred Bauer echoes those sentiments, saying that job creators have to give their employees more than just on-the-job training.
People that have made an investment in education, that carries them so far so we can see the desire there, and then it's our job to mentor them, give them management responsibility early.
There is a huge push and has already gone toward cross-training where you're doing multiple jobs. You're going on the manufacturing floor, for example, working several different stations on a given shift.
The state still has a long way to go. After shedding some 430,000 manufacturing jobs in the last decade, our recent uptick isn't so much of a comeback as it is a heartbeat. And economists aren't sure the rekindled romance with automobile manufacturing will lead to a healthy, long-term relationship.
We have doubled the exposure to manufacturing. Any problems that might happen with that industry will affect us greatly.
Everyone, from economists to the governor, know that the state can't go back to its auto, agriculture, tourism model to sustain the economy. There is cautious optimism that manufacturing will continue to grow in the state, not in the old-fashioned way, but through a modern workforce. In the meantime, we're just along for the ride. And our coverage continues right now at woodtv.com. We have an interactive timeline tracking the big three, starting with the founding of Ford Motor Company and ending with this year's record profits.